This morning, I've had a nightmare. My van's broke down. I've had to hire a van to get to this job. The reason why is because the family only had today and tomorrow for me to do this. If I don't do this today and tomorrow, they're going to waste their money they've spent on the hotel. The whole family, the kids, they're out. This room's a little boy's room and I need to get this done today. We're now here at the job, but what a morning it's been. Right, that's the wardrobe now moved. I'm gonna put these screws back in the hole. The reason why is after I install the cork onto this wall, I don't wanna be drilling any holes. This also means less destruction, noise, and hassle for the client. Those screws up there, look, they're proud. I'm gonna work around those and I will be putting cork underneath them as well. Once we've finished, we can take the screws back out, put the bracket back on, wardrobe back up against the wall, everything's done, everyone's happy. In your AeroCork bucket, you can have two components, a bag of cork and also the evaporator. I'll give you a little step-by-step guide how to mix this up and how to apply it. If you're a DIYer or if you're a plasterer that haven't been to our training facility, then this is for you. Empty the evaporator into the bucket with the bag of cork. You want to use this bottle that comes in the bucket and fill it up 3 times. Okay, so now you've got the bag of cork, the evaporator, and the 3 bottles of water in these buckets each. Now we need to mix them up. We sell a paddle made specifically for mixing this product. However, you can use a standard paddle. Right now it's all mixed. This is important. You want to make sure you get enough air within the product itself. Air will help the product be applied. It will make it aerated. You want that. You want the material in the bucket to rise. If you're a plasterer, this isn't for you now beginners, if you're a plasterer and you're happy with the substrate if you're going over with the AeroCork, right? You think, you know, that's not smooth and slippery, it's not slidey, it's not silk paint, but equally, it's not dusty either, then you can go straight on this with our product. If it is dusty, we've got Consolidante, and if it is a little bit slippery or smooth, we have XM Bond. You can find more information about that on our website. Don't be worried about this paddle, it comes straight off. When you're installing AeroCork, don't plaster the top of the wall and then the bottom. Install it in a 2 trowel width, vertically. There, and move on, and move on. Two trowel widths there, 2 trowel widths there. Lay it on, flatten it, and move on. If you start playing around with it, you start trying to trowel it off, try to get the lines out, it will make it peel off the wall. You don't want to do that. Lay it on, flatten it, and then just keep going. Bloody screws, who put those there? It's now 4 o'clock. That took 45 minutes to get this 9 metre square wall done. Right, for you trolls, I know you see those trowel lines, don't worry, follow me. Those trowel lines need to be there. You can't trowel this up like plaster. Once I get the trowel lines out the back of my trowel tomorrow, I'll then plaster over the top of it. No primer, nothing, straight on. We're gonna use multi-finish over the top of this today. The wall's already got multi-finish on, so don't worry about breathability. Yes, our product is breathable, and yes, multi-finish is not. But there's already multi-finish on the wall already, so we're not changing anything. We're just insulating it with, obviously, AeroCork that's on the wall now. So we're gonna whisk this up. Now, if you're a DIYer, all you need to do with these bags, don't go cutting them or chop them down the middle. Grab the top of this here, tear that off, put your hand in there to hold the bag, and then cup it at the bottom, and just start pouring it in. This wall's probably going to take about a bag of plaster, if that. These little buckets that the AeroCork come in are fantastic to keep. If you're a plasterer, keep hold of those. They're fantastic little buckets. You can mix up little sets in. They're not going to take a full bag, I don't think, but I need a full bag today. Right, this is a little bit controversial, but I want to de-tape this and get out of here. I'm on my own, I haven't got a labourer. I want to clean down skirting boards. I want to take this up, skim it, de-tape it, and go. Before you use multi-finish, you want to prime your spot board or your hawk. The reason being is that is old multi-finish that's stuck on it, and it's a very high porous, high suction background. Because there's surface water on this hawk, I'm going to put a little bit of plaster on the hawk itself. I'm going to move it around a little bit, same as what you do on a spot board. That's primed it now. That's now ready to rock and roll. Right, that's now flat. We'll let this pick up a little bit, and then we'll get a sponge float, and then get this one coat. No, we're going to second coat it, tidy these areas up around the perimeter, second coat it, and then start flattening in after the second coat. This is called an X-Skim by Rafina. It's a little bit dirty, but don't worry about that. What I want to show you with this, it's really good for leveling out the wall after you've flattened it with your trowel or after you've laid it on. Coming close now, you can see there's some lines. Now there's another video I'll try and link on this one that we just did a little monocouche job, but these little lines help open the surface. Now these lines are there and it's opening the surface, this is going to dry faster. This wall is probably about 9 meters square and I want to get it done quick. The X-Skim from Rafina is also pretty good because you've got these angled, if I just show you up here on the top of here, look, see how it's angled? You can actually get into the corner of the ceiling. This stage now is called cutting in. You get your trowel and you run it down the corner of your plaster. This is probably the first time a labourer would grab a trowel to do this. And what it would do, all the fluffy bits that are on the corners, see them all picking up now. These would normally just pop off. This plaster's a little bit wet. So what I'm gonna do is hold my trowel flat onto the adjacent wall and run it down. And this is gonna square it off. I'll just do the same at the top. Little fingerprints here and there. My fingers aren't getting any plaster on. They're just a little bit wet, a bit greasy from the plaster, okay? This is now ready to flatten. This now has had 3 trowels. We've laid it on, we've laid it down, which is your flatten. We've now laid it on again for the second coat. I'm about to lay it down again. And we've got about 3 or so left just to flatten it off, cross trowel with a flexi, and that's it, finished. So it's been laid on, laid down, laid on, just been laid down again. I'm gonna tidy everything up, clean these internal corners off with a brush, and then it's gonna have a couple of wet trowels and a cross trowel, and we're finished. Right, this is a flexi trowel. A lot of plasterers don't like these. I like them. I think they finish the wall lovely at the end for cross troweling. I'm gonna use a brush now to wet the wall. I'm gonna pull the tops in, and I'm gonna cross trowel quite hard at a diagonal and push all the water down to the bottom, finish off the bottom, brush around the edges, and then tidy everything up. If you install spray cork, come and talk to us at TIWI CorkSpray. Let's have a conversation. It's too late at this stage, but this is called the fat. That's what we call it in the plastering game. This is important to keep. If you damage the wall for any reason, Just take a little bit of this stuff and you can push it into where the damage is and then flatten it. It's not really something you want to do, but obviously if you have to, it's there to be used. I'm just going to share something with you now. This is a little bit close to my heart. I just found this last week. This is my grandfather's trowel. He was a builder, part of the Federation of Master Builders. It was full of rust. And all I've done is just rasp it down and then I've patinaed it. So it might not look special to the average viewer of this video, but plasterers will know. I actually found in my stepdad's shed. It's been there for a little while and they found it out and said, would you want this? Now I don't know what to do with this. I don't know whether to frame it, stick it on the wall, my house, use it, I don't know. But I've sanded it back, got the surface rust on it, give it a patina. And it's only an 11-inch trowel, it's quite small, but it's because as he got older, he had arthritis really badly to be at a point being in a wheelchair, and he was still wanting to plaster walls. Well, 11-inch trowel is going to be a lot easier on your elbow. I remember his elbows really, you know, coming out here, and he was still, you know, going for it and laying foundation and building brick walls and block walls and trying to plaster them. So a small trowel will be a lot easier on the shoulder and obviously on the elbow, so I only assume that's why. So this probably was his last trowel. It's not as sharp as what I thought it would be, so it tells me it didn't get a lot of use, but ultimately it was still his. What's a little bit emotional for me is the handle. Picking up another plasterer's handle is horrible. It doesn't feel nice, it makes you want to shiver. But I can feel where my granddad's hand has been when he's used this, obviously many moons ago, where his fingers are. Can't talk about it too much, it's gonna get me upset. Okay. Plaster will hang on cork. Doesn't matter if it's sprayed cork or AeroCork, plaster will hang on it. What I mean by that is it will take a little while to dry compared to conventional plastered walls or plasterboard, for example. Right, that's done and dusted. Plastered within an hour and a half, thanks to half time, so easy mix. Well done for that one. So to recap, we put AeroCork onto this wall, trowel applied, product AeroCork, purpose-built trowel applied, not a spray cork that you trowel on. No taping up was required, and it was done in about 45 minutes, 9 meters square. It was installed, but it was left for 24 hours with a fan blowing air on it, and then we plastered it the following day. All hoovered down, everything's clean. The family now can get back into this place, and we're finished. Lovely jubbly, job done. Let's go.